Elon Musk is either a genius billionaire shaping the future or a reckless egomaniac who burns through billions on wild experiments just to feed his own legend. Love him or hate him, Musk doesn't spend like a typical billionaire. So today, we're breaking down the most ridiculously expensive things he owns, and some of them make no sense at all. Just a quick one. If you had Elon's fortune, what's the first thing you'd buy? Let me know in the comments down below. Swiss watch. Elon knew he had to stay ahead of the game. So what did he do? He called up Tag Heuer and asked them to make him something special, and they delivered the limited edition Carrera 1887 SpaceX. Now this watch was released to celebrate 50 years since the first Swiss watch made it to space, worn by John Glenn in 1962. And here's the crazy part, you can actually buy one for yourself for $10,000. You see, Elon doesn't do just enough. This dude keeps leveling up all the time. Not only did he grab an Audemars Piguet for $50,000, but he also went all in with a Richard Mille for a whopping $200,000. Now that's next level flex. Submarine car. Elon wanted a new car that is somewhere between wild and unique. So he decided to get one that could turn into a submarine. Yes, the car from the James Bond movie, The Spy Who Loved Me, is real. The story starts in 1989 when a couple from Long Island bought a locked storage unit for just $100. When they opened it, they were shocked to find a 1976 Lotus Esprit hidden under a stack of blankets. The couple had never watched a James Bond movie, so when they found the car, they probably thought it was some kind of weird science experiment or a homemade kit car. It was only when truck drivers spotted the car while it was being transported and recognized it as an actual piece of Hollywood history. Since they weren't collectors, and let's be honest, storing a submarine car isn't exactly easy, they had it cleaned up and put it for sale in 2013 through RM Sotheby's. And guess who bought it for $1 million? Our very own Elon. The only issue is that this car was just a movie prop and doesn't actually work as a submarine. However, Musk said he wants to turn it into a real Tesla-powered underwater vehicle. With this addition, his car collection is now worth over $2.8 million. But seriously, where's he going to keep all these cars? Ugly shoes. Elon Musk's ugly shoes could have landed him in jail for 6 months during his company's Model Y unveiling in 2019. It's a custom pair of Air Jordan Tesla sneakers. Actually, the shoes were made from pony hair, red metallic leather, and python leather. The main problem was with the python leather, because it's illegal to wear something made with python in California. Our man didn't want to risk another legal issue, so he hasn't been seen wearing them since. Surprisingly, the shoes only cost $1,500, which is nothing compared to what he might wear on Mars. After all, time works a little differently in space. Crazy car collection. Now what's the deal with Elon Musk's crazy car collection? It's as wild as it can get. He took his $100,000 Tesla Roadster, put on a rocket he built, and launched it into space. This could have been passed off as a dream if the whole event wasn't live streamed. You can even still track it where it is today. Since our guy knew that he was never getting that car back, he went to the car stand and bought another one. On the flip side, Musk doesn't just own Teslas. Since he created the first mass-produced electric car, he also wanted to own the first mass-produced gas-powered car through the 1920 Ford Model T. It barely runs, but he got it for $25,000. Surprisingly, Musk's dream car wasn't electric either. When he was 17, he saw a Jaguar E-Type in a magazine and instantly fell in love. Back then, he was completely broke, with only $2,000 and $110,000 in debt. But as soon as he made enough money, he bought the car right away. Funnily enough, it barely works too. Now, one of his most expensive cars almost ended in disaster. After selling PayPal and making his first fortune, Musk splurged on a $1 million McLaren F1. That car, it nearly cost him his life. You could be wondering why he even got in it in the first place. Well, you can ask him whenever you see him. It could be in space though, one can never tell. Now the only thing you can tell is if you love watching luxury content, don't forget to give us a like and tap the subscribe button if you're a fan. An entire neighborhood. At first, Elon Musk bought just one house like any regular person, although it was worth $17 million, but you can't expect anything less from someone who makes $54 million daily. This mansion had 7 bedrooms, a gym, a spa, a tennis court, and even its own movie theatre. He loved it so much that he decided to buy the entire neighbourhood with 6 houses in it. That rounded up the number to 7 mansions in Bel Air. You'd think with all those home gyms, he'd be built like a superhero. But nope, still rocking the tech genius look. Now most of the houses were similar except for Willy Wonka's house. From the outside, it looked normal, but inside, it had some pretty strange features. Musk wasn't interested in living in a creepy candy factory style house, so he turned it into a school for his kids. Honestly, I'm not questioning his choices. When you can afford an $80 million neighborhood and this money can be made in 2 days, it's pretty fair for you to do whatever you want. Diamond rings. However, when he got a custom Tesla diamond ring from jeweler Ben Baller worth $37,000, he made an exception. The flashy pink design on the ring had the company's logo on a solid platinum base, decorated with custom-cut baguette gems. Surprisingly, Elon only really gave jewelry to others. Back in college, he gifted his girlfriend a green emerald from his father's emerald mine, set on a 14-karat gold necklace. After they broke up, he probably didn't regret spending $50,000 on it, but his second wife definitely walked away with much more. When Elon realized how much engagement rings mattered, he didn't hold back. The first ring he bought her was worth $100,000, but since he was already making hundreds of millions, she joked that it was too cheap. So, to make it up to her, he bought her a second ring worth $300,000. And that wasn't all. For special occasions, Elon surprised her with a third ring. This one had 10 sapphires and a massive diamond. It was so extravagant it cost $1 million. This puts the total amount he spent on her jewelry to $1.5 million. But clearly, money wasn't an issue. Just 2 years later, they divorced, and Elon handed her $16 million as a parting gift. An app. Most people, when they don't like an app, just delete it and move on. But Elon Musk, he buys the entire company. When Twitter started banning users and controlling speech, Elon decided he wasn't going to sit back and watch. So, instead of focusing on getting humanity to Mars, he made sure people could still speak their minds on Earth. Even though Twitter was losing billions, he went ahead and bought it anyway. Because when you have that much money, what's a few extra billion? And because Elon loves a good meme, he made his buyout offer at $54.20 per share. In the end, he overpaid by $19 billion, bringing the total cost to $44 billion for a struggling social media app. But he's not giving up. Elon has rebranded Twitter as X, with big plans to turn it into something much bigger than a social media site for interaction. If it becomes anything like PayPal but on a much larger scale, X could one day be worth over $80 billion. Private jets. Only one private jet just wasn't enough for Elon Musk, so he bought 5. His first jet cost $26 million and had all the essentials. You'll find recliner seats, a dining room, and even a bedroom. He bought it before he even became a billionaire. But once his bank account jumped from millions to billions, that had to change. When Musk saw Mark Cuban flying in a Gulfstream G550, he decided to go bigger. Instead of getting just one, he bought 2 worth $62 million. But soon after, a newer model came out, which was the G650. What's the difference? One extra seat. Could it be for Elon that it's not just about the luxury? I mean, the dude uses his jets constantly, even for flights that just last 6 minutes. So, while most billionaires hoard mansions and yachts, Musk spends money on submarine cars, python shoes, and buying an entire neighborhood. Who knows? His next big project might be to relocate everyone to Mars or even Venus. Meanwhile, you won't believe what's inside these $100 million mansions. Hit that subscribe button to find out.